Goals, planning, and forecasting all have one fatal flaw: us. And yes, I'm talking about you and me. You see, human beings, more often than not, are walking contradictions. And this is mostly because we're trying to balance out emotion and reason. Now, this will inevitably lead to a misalignment of our actions and our aspirations. Now, what this looks like is an individual or an organization that has big ideas about where it wants to go, but its day-to-day actions don't reflect that vision. Now, the classic example of this is the New Year's resolution to start exercising and eating healthy. Now, if I make that my resolution and I know what my priorities should be, but I'm still on a fast food diet and spend most of my waking hours on my butt, well, it's not really a priority, it's an aspiration. So today, I'm going to give you some practical tools for addressing that problem and getting your priorities back in line with your aspirations. Goals, planning, forecasting, these are all important activities at both the personal and the professional level. So they give us a sense of direction, a vision for what our future could look like, both in the short and the long term. But just because we know what our goals are, that doesn't mean that our priorities, those areas where we spend our time, our energy, and money, well, it doesn't mean that they're aligned. You see, priorities don't magically fall into place just because we know the outcome that we want. For example, let's say you run a business with employees, or you oversee a department in your organization, and you know that success in your business or your department means you have to have a highly engaged and effective team. But if you're not regularly investing time, energy, and money toward creating the environment that's needed for that to occur, then it's not really a priority. Now, another example is one I see a lot with entrepreneurial startups. They know that in order to grow, they need to be innovative. However, if they aren't regularly investing time, energy, and money toward challenging dominant ideas and finding ways to disrupt the status quo in their space, well, being innovative is not a real priority for them. And look, I'm not picking on these two groups because the truth is this happens to all of us, no matter what the situation is. The point that I'm trying to make is that all your goal setting, forecasting, and strategic planning, well, this means nothing if your actual priorities, those places where you make the majority of your investments, if those are not aligned with your aspirations. So, with that in mind, here is how you make sure that you're aligned going forward. Now, the first thing that you must do to get your priorities and aspirations aligned is to assess where you're spending your time, energy, and money. It's important to look at each area separately because they are not equally weighted. For example, you may not be spending a lot of time in an area, but it may still be sucking a lot of your energy or money. In the same way, you may not be spending a lot of money in a specific area, but it may still be occupying a lot of your time. Does that sound familiar? Well, it should, because we all have areas like that in our lives. And that is why this part of the process is so important. Now, I'm sure that you have heard it said that your attention is a valuable commodity. Well, that is because your attention is an investment of your time and energy, and it's one of the best indicators of what your real priorities are. Now, to help you get back into alignment, I've identified 4 areas for strategic growth that will give you a framework for exploring where you're investing your time, your energy, and your money. Area number 1, capital and resource investment. Now, obviously, this area is focused around your financial aspirations. So you'll start by making a list of what your aspirations are in this area. Ask yourself, what are my financial goals for the long term? Am I trying to build a business, support a lifestyle, retire early, support an important cause, and so on? Now, once you've done that, make a list of where you're actually spending your time, energy, and money in this area. Is it in the stock market, acquiring new assets, retirement savings, or investing in other businesses? Now, these are just a few examples, but I think you get the idea. You see, the most important part in all of this is that your answers reflect what you actually do and not what you think you should be doing. So you have to be honest about what you are really prioritizing in your life through your actions, or this assessment is not going to work. Area number 2, talent development. Now this is an area you can view from both an individual and organizational level. Now if you're viewing this from the individual level, then this would be your personal and professional development. Now if you're viewing it from the organizational level, this could be your talent and workforce development. Now just like the last area, you'll start by making a list of what your aspirations are. So what are you saying is important to you in this area and why? Now, make a detailed list of where you're investing your time, energy, and money in this area. Think about the people that you surround yourself with. Do they make you sharper and encourage you to reach that next level of growth? Think about the people that you're investing your time, your energy, and money in. Are you spending time mentoring, coaching, helping others achieve the goals and aspirations that they have? Area number 3, research and development. Now this is all about your products and services and what you're doing to ensure they remain relevant. You see, as new technologies and automations reach the market, staying ahead of these changes is crucial to your long-term success. Now I've known folks like this, and I'm sure you have too, that believe there will always be a need for their service or that their job won't be automated. Maybe, but highly unlikely. As you consider this area, think about how you'd like to see your products and services change in order to bring more value and greater fulfillment to your customers, to your team, and to yourself. Now, make a list of where you're spending your time, energy, and money in this area. Are you researching new markets where your products and services can solve a problem or add extra value? Are you investing your resources to acquire a business that has the skill sets and the competencies that you need to take your business to the next level? Again, these are just examples to get you started. So take what's useful and discard the rest. Area number 4, user experience. Now this area is all about the experience and the subsequent impact that you are making on the people you interact with. Now if you're viewing this from the perspective of an organization, then this would be your company culture and your values. Now, if you're viewing this from the individual perspective, this would be like your personal brand and the values that are associated with you in the minds of the people that you serve. Now, a great example of an organization that is aligned in this area is Chick-fil-A. No matter where you go in the US, you can almost guarantee the exact experience when you go to their restaurants. You see, they've done an incredible job of creating a culture that is consistent across the board. Now, if you've never noticed this before, pay attention the next time you're in a Chick-fil-A, and if you say thank you for anything, they will say, my pleasure. Now, this response is deliberate and it's reflective of who they are as an organization. So with that in mind, make a list of where you're spending your time, energy, and money in this area. Ask yourself questions like, am I asking for feedback from my customers and clients about their experience with me? Am I utilizing tools and outside resources to understand how my audience sees me and why they do or don't do business with me? Am I putting energy into building lasting relationships with my customers or my team members? And how much time, energy, and money have I invested in crafting the messaging, the culture, and the experience around my brand? Again, keep what's relevant in each of these categories, add what's missing, and ignore the rest. And there you have it, 4 areas to help you align your aspirations and your priorities starting today.